It is extremely easy and incredibly cheap to scrape unlimited leads for whatever niche that you're trying to target. So I'm going to show you exactly how I scrape leads, all the tools that I use, and how I do it. So let's just get right into it. So the first thing we're going to go over is I like to separate it into 3 different categories, which is local businesses, professional businesses, and e-commerce. I'm going to go more into local businesses and professional. The first thing is local business. Now, these are like owner operator, people that are doing the business mostly themselves. So you think plumbers, roofing companies, like local diners, power washing companies, anyone that maybe the owner is kind of managing most of it themselves, right? Usually their data is actually extremely easy to scrape because their data is just easily accessible. They're really easy to find. And so if I look at plumber, I go to Google Maps, you can easily find some data here with their phone number, their location, and their company name. And you can easily just scrape this. So you can scroll down through here. There's a tool called Instant Data Scraper. This is an amazing tool. If you're scraping a lot, this will help you a ton. Trust me. Completely free tool called Instant Data Scraper. You can download. I'll try to put the link in the description below. And you can just click start scrolling and it will get all the data that's right here. And so now we have all these phone numbers. The thing is that this is very basic data. So this is one way you can do it, but this is like you only get the phone number and the company name. So this only works if you're doing SMS or cold calling to these companies, but not much more. And so the next step that a lot of people go to is going to tools. And a lot of people, they do the wrong thing. Like you'll go on Upwork or you go on Fiverr, you look for people that are selling data for 20 cents a contact, and that is extremely expensive. You do not want to be spending anything over a penny per contact, honestly. How do we find the right tools? Well, a lot of people, when it comes to local business, they use D7 Lead Finder. Now, I do not recommend D7 Lead Finder just because a lot of the times when I use it, honestly, you'll just get like contacts that are way outside the realm. So if you're looking for, let's just say, a business coach, it's going to give you a gym teacher and a psychic medium, like things that like I guess could vaguely relate to coach, but aren't the business coach that I'm actually looking for. And so that's the problem. And then also it gives you pretty bad data in terms of like the emails. It'll get you like info@companyname.com rather than like the person's, like the owner's email that you're looking for. So I don't really like using this tool, but my step up, or the tool that I actually like to use, is Ninja Leads. It's a little more expensive. This one's $99 a month. D7 Lead Finder is like $40 a month for their base package. But this one is, I use this one almost every day. So it is extremely worth it to me. How it works is that you're looking for local businesses in the US. This only works for the US, unfortunately. So if you're doing outside the US, D7 Lead Finder probably is your only option just because it gives you a lot of data anywhere in the world. But if you're doing the US, then this one's great because I can do, let's just say, roofing and anywhere in the US. So let's just say Dayton, Ohio, and you click launch. And then within a couple minutes, it'll come in as a list in here. So we have all the lists we've pulled over the last couple days or months or years, however long you've been having it. And so we have like martial arts in Boston, Massachusetts, and you can click into it and see all of the contacts in here. So we have the business name, we have the contact person's name. So, D7 Lead Finder, it doesn't give you the contact person's name. It just gives you the business name and the email and then some social profile links. But we also have a corporate email. So if they have an email associated with that person, you have that. And then also generic emails. D7 Lead Finder only has a generic email like info@companyname.com, but this has a lot more. And then you have the website and the phone numbers. And what's also really cool about this is that it gives you the phone number type. So it'll tell you if it's a VoIP, a mobile number, or a fixed line. A VoIP is kind of like an online number, so a Twilio number or a Google Voice number, something like that. And so if you want to do SMS campaigns or cold calling or anything like that, you know that you can message the VoIPs and the mobile numbers. And so you can just do a text campaign to those guys. Also street address, zip code, all that stuff. So a lot of good data in here. I use this one every single day. That's how I do local business. Now, if we're getting into doing professional businesses, that's the next one up. And so professional businesses, I like to use LinkedIn. LinkedIn is just honestly the best platform for anything B2B, just because you can get past the gatekeepers. So a lot of the professional businesses, a professional business I kind of count as someone that has gatekeepers, or someone where there's like a big corporate structure. So like maybe software companies or big manufacturing companies or a dentist office or anything like that. So let's just say you want to find those professional businesses. Well, you have 2 different types of ways that you can search on LinkedIn. I'm going to do a normal LinkedIn search and then a sales navigator search. Now for a normal LinkedIn search, you can look up, let's say dentist is who you're targeting. So you're going to do the first thing, which is just searching it, and then look for people. So you're going to click people, and then it's going to show you all the people that worked within that industry. So dentist or dentistry or dentist office, or people that are the front desk people, or a dental assistant, right? Anyone that has ever worked within dentistry. That's what it's giving you right here. So it's 600,000 people. That's a lot of people. And so we need to narrow this down to, if we only want to find the actual dentist or the owners, founders, CEOs, the people that own a dentist office, we want to target them specifically. So we need to narrow down the search. So the way to do that is you can click, a lot of times I like to just do the United States. So I'll click location and do United States only. And then the other thing I like to do is all filters right here, click that, and you scroll down towards the bottom, and then we have keywords. And so you can add keywords of things that you're looking for specifically. So we specifically want to target owner, founder, CEO. So what we want to do is called a Boolean search. I think that's what it's called. And basically a Boolean search is just putting in the title that you want to use. So owner, and then you can do a capital OR, and then we want to do whatever other title we want to use. So owner or founder or CEO. All right, and you can just keep going. These are the two. I don't really do much after this. Like there's a ton of other things that you can do, like past company, school, industry. You can do, sometimes I'll use this, the industry, like healthcare, medical practices, whatever. But I usually just mainly use owner, founder, CEO, and location United States. And I click that. And then we have 19,000 people in here. So the next thing we want to do is now we need to scrape this. So just this, we're not going to get much out of it, right? Just because it's just showing us everybody that's within the search. Well, we need a separate tool to be able to scrape the data from it. Now, how these tools work is what they're doing is they're getting the links out of this. They're going to scrape the links, and it's going to try to enrich it. So they have their own database that already exists with millions and millions and millions of contacts, and they're going to take those links that they find in here, right? So this guy's link, and they're going to take that and they're going to see if it matches with their current database. And if it does match with their current database, it'll show you any of the contact details that are within their current database. Some of the tools I like to use, one is LeadRocks. That's this one right here. LeadRocks, if you're getting it from their website, it's pretty expensive. Right now it is on AppSumo. If you don't know what AppSumo is, I would get familiar with AppSumo, a website that allows you to buy software for extremely cheap. And so this one is on here right now for $79, one-time purchase, and you get, I think, 5,000 credits per month for that one-time purchase. So a really good deal on here, but it's probably not going to be on here forever. So that's the one I currently like to use. But another one I like to use is called Use Artemis. So that's this one right here. This one's probably the best bang for your buck. Now, I like to use a ton of data, so I have this plan, which is $129 a month. Now you can use the lower plans like 7,000 credits per month or 2,000 credits per month. I have this one. It says unlimited. Really, it's 15,000 credits per day, but that's still a ton of credits for and no other tool has that many credits that I know of. So this one's great. And the data is actually pretty good because some of the tools, they have pretty bad quality data. So this one has pretty good quality data, and LeadRocks also has pretty good quality. I found that LeadRocks is a little better, so I probably would go with this as my tier 1. But Use Artemis is still really great. How you kind of scrape from LinkedIn is basically you download the Chrome extension. So LeadRocks has their own Chrome extension and Use Artemis has their own Chrome extension. So this one, you just click export leads and you click export, and it just starts going and getting the links. So right now it's getting the links, and then I click stop and export, and then it's going to give me a download. And so once we downloaded this, we're going to go back to LeadRocks, click enrich, and then you're going to upload those links. Boom, click OK. And then it's going to say, hey, we found 11 emails and 3 phone numbers for you. And then you can put in the list name that you want to do, and then it's going to save to the list. Now for Use Artemis, it's a little simpler. So you kind of you can click on the Use Artemis Chrome extension, the name. So we'll put dentists. We'll start on page 1. We'll do 25 pages total, and then click start scraping. And then it'll basically put it into your account and give you the emails and phone numbers inside of your account. So that's how that works. There's another tool that I also like called SalesQL. That's an honorable mention. Honestly, you just want to look for, you do not want to be spending over a penny per credit. So you want a tool that gives, because there's some tools that'll be like, you get 150 credits for $100 a month, and that is way too much money, right? You should not be spending 50 cents per credit or 25 cents. It's under a penny per credit always. And honestly, you shouldn't, with Use Artemis, it's 15,000 credits per day, which is insane. So the problem that you might run into when it comes to doing a normal LinkedIn search is that you might run into 2 different problems. One is that if you do not have Sales Navigator or LinkedIn Premium, then it will limit how many searches you can do. So you can only do a couple of searches per day. The other problem that you might run into is that if you don't have a ton of connections on your LinkedIn profile, it's going to say LinkedIn member. It's just going to say, all these are going to say LinkedIn member, LinkedIn member, LinkedIn member. And so you won't be able to actually see these people, which means you won't be able to actually just scrape them and use them for LeadRocks or for Use Artemis or anything like that. And so you're not going to actually get any data from them because the links don't exist, because it's just saying LinkedIn member. Why it's doing this is because LinkedIn only shows you up to the 3rd degree connections. So if you have only, let's say, 50 connections, it's going to show you those people's connections and those people's connections. So that's the third degree. And so if it's past the third degree, fourth degree connections, it's not going to show you those people. You need to have a lot of connections already in order for this to work properly. And if you don't have a lot of connections right now, then you won't be able to scrape from this. So your only other option really is to scrape from Sales Navigator. So you have to buy Sales Navigator, which is $99 a month. Basically, you go to Sales Navigator. We have a ton more filters here. Now we have like company headcount, geography, years of experience, all this stuff. But we're going to realistically just use the same kind of filters that we had before. So we're going to use a job title. So current job title, we'll do owner, founder, CEO. And so you can do all these other things. We'll do geography, we'll do North America. And then we have our keywords. So we're going to do dentist. So this is the keyword of what we're trying to look for. And so now we can scrape from here. So Use Artemis does work for Sales Navigator. SalesQL does work for Sales Navigator, but LeadRocks does not work for Sales Navigator. So if you do not have a lot of connections and you can't do a ton of searches, then I would not get LeadRocks. What I would do if I were you, I would test out the tools first before you actually buy them. All these usually have a free trial, and I'm not getting paid by any of these tools, so this is an unbiased opinion. You can use Artemis. You can scrape the pages and say dentist, that's the name. I want to scrape 25 pages, and then you click import, and it'll start importing for you. And then it'll give you the emails and the phone numbers from there. So something else that's a little life hack is that, Sales Navigator only shows you up to 2,500 results. So this says 23,000, but it's only going to show us 2,500 because there's 25 people per page, and it only shows up to the 100th page. LinkedIn, a normal search, it only shows us 10 people per page and 100 pages, which is only 1,000 people. And so we can only scrape 1,000 people at a time. So we need to narrow the search down as low as we can, closest to 1,000, and then segment the market. So kind of how this works, what I like to do is I like to do a specific, city or a state, right? So let's say New York metropolitan area, 1,800 people, right? That's about as low as we can get. All right, so we export that. And then we can do, let's say Texas. Let's see how many's there. And then we do 1,800 in Texas. All right, let's, get that one. And so we're going to get 1,000 out of Texas. There's 1,800 total, but we can only get 1,000 at a time. We can narrow it down by doing specific cities in Texas, but 1,800 is close enough. So, but you can't just do the entire United States at once because LinkedIn's only going to show you 1,000 at a time, right? 10 per page and 100 pages total. And usually, if you keep doing the same search, you can't just refresh and hopefully it just shows you a brand new, different 1,000 next time. It's just going to show you the people that are most relevant to you. So it's going to show you the same 1,000 people every time. And so that's why we have to segment to specific states or specific cities. Now, if you're looking to use these leads to reach out to them and get more leads and sales calls, I can help you build out a system to get 120 sales calls per month using a whole bunch of automations. So we use LinkedIn, email, SMS, Facebook, Instagram to get a ton of sales calls. We set up the automations for you, give you access to all the tools that you need, and also we can scrape the contacts for you. So you don't even have to do any of this. We'll scrape the leads for you. So if you're interested in something like that, you can click the first link in the description, click a date and a time that works for you, fill in your information, and click schedule meeting. The first 10 people that book a call below, I will give you access to 450 million B2B contacts. So if you want those, you can book a call below. I'll talk to you guys soon.